Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you are all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And March the 1st, 2021 will go down in history as a day in Call of Duty folklore where everything was absolute chaos. There is so much to cover today, I wasn't even sure where to begin, but effectively there were 3 stages to it. First of all, it was Str0 versus JKap, then Courage came into the mix, then there was the whole Thorin debacle. He came over and just absolutely tried to world star the scene. Some of it landed, some of it certainly didn't. And then when we thought it was all done, Cellium came out effectively calling me out for some of my thumbnails that I'd done on the whole Cellium snaking situation, and then, well, some of the pros came back with some unquestionable, I suppose, videos and stuff of Cellium actually snaking. He effectively said that the narrative that is being pushed with him snaking was lies, and well, then people came with receipts to prove that maybe that's not fully the case. We'll talk about that one later today. I didn't want to do like 3-4 videos or whatever, just wanted to condense it into 2, but first of all, we've got to discuss the first 2 parts of the absolute chaos that was on the timeline these last couple of days. We've got to get into it really quickly. Intrigued to take your thoughts in the comment section. I'd like if you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you were new, as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. We hit 47,000 subscribers on the channel yesterday as well. I think still 50% of the watch time the last month has been from those of you not yet subscribed. If you'd like to make sure you don't miss any of this drama, which I'm sure is going to continue over the coming days, the big red button, you know how it goes. So let's discuss where this all began. Los Angeles Thieves lost to Dallas Empire right a couple of days ago in the pretty crucial series for the first place in Group A. LA Thieves said kept it close, eventually fell, lot to work on ahead of the major, but I don't think 100 Thieves, like the actual main account, was retweeting any of this stuff, and therefore Str0 came out and said, look, that was a big time match. They are suddenly quiet again, saying they're not really doing any tweets on the timeline. I mean, not even a mention of the match before or after on some of those timelines. That's how you know you have asserted dominance. So Str0, owner over at Dallas Empire and Team Envy, cannot help himself about this one. Then he does a video as well to this effect. I won't play it because we're going to be here for about half an hour already. But yeah, that's what Str0 says at the time. Then he says, like, okay, in replies, JKap then comes back. Of course, JKap on the World Championship winning team of Envy way back in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. You would imagine, at least I thought, maybe the relations between those two guys would have been relatively decent. That is certainly not the case. So as he says, don't you ever get tired of this stuff, man? You know me pretty well, Cap. Why do you even need, why do you even need to ask that question? Figured at some point you would get tired for begging for attention, but I guess not. Oh god, Cap, let's not act like the whole CoD community doesn't beg for attention on Twitter. If I see another retweet for this lame thing come out of you or 100 Thieves, I'll make sure to point it out. Hold the L, bud. And to say Str0 may be implying about this whole sexist temporary gaming is forever thing that came up with Frosty that got like 200,000 retweets or whatever, the nature lesson now get this tattoo, and well, maybe that is in Str0's head somewhat. So it does just continue right here as we see this thread right here. This is when Courage comes into the mix, of course, massive streamer now formerly caster over at the CWL a few years ago. Cap, come on bro. Str0 has to be the one to tweet when Envy wins the match because there were no Envy fans to do it for him. Just take a look. They've averaged a combined minus 4,000 subscribers across their 3 YouTube channels this year. I'd rather run a successful, well-rounded business. So then Str0 says, look, Jack, you care so much about the money and views. That is obvious. Don't assume those are what drive me also. From the beginning, it's about realizing potential of our teams and players as champions. We are different. Go drop another hashtag ad on the timeline. Then JKap just fires shots back. Remember after ILLey when you tried screwing over our team, and that's when you retroactively fined me $1,000 for not streaming during August when Champs was literally the 1st of September that year. Good times. So glad we got to realize that potential. Of course, it doesn't stop there. I mean, well, Courage continues in the replies. Come on, Mike, you were a below average Call of Duty professional, became a below average Call of Duty commentator, and are now hemorrhaging money as a team owner. I'll keep replying, but this is the most interaction you've gotten since you snaked Clayster. Jack, you really don't have a clue about our business. Slanging ads on Twitter and YouTube is not the way to support an esports org. We're extremely healthy as a business, and I'm sure you'll wake up to that soon. Not going to take any pop shots, just smiles from me. But well, Courage continues. It's funny, I have huge respect for your team, but you embarrass them with these tweets. Everyone looks at the old man shouting at clouds. That is you. Just fade into obscurity as you rightfully should. Let Crim, Shotzzy, ILLey, and ILLey be the stars. So that's kind of where it finished, but not really, of course, because Courage then comes out and says, Dogwater, screenshots, his like Fortnite earnings of $84,000 compared to Str0's earnings when he used to be a player of $4,600, but of course, the prize money and stuff at the time was vastly different, so it doesn't necessarily tell the full story. But well, that was part of it. Formal then says, hey Jack, just wanted to say sorry for being mean a few years back. Didn't know you had ammo like that and were ready to go at any minute. So yeah, pretty funny exchange right here. But of course, that is barely scratching the surface of what happened yesterday. And well, Octane tweets out Str0 versus the world. Certainly a lot of people were coming at him. He was basically the sole man on that side of the argument. And well, certainly some pretty funny exchanges. Some hits, some misses. You know how these things tend to go. Impossible W for Str0. 100 Thieves us too much clout on the timeline. Even the CoD League got involved with this image right here, and they tweeted about it further on as well. So let's move into the Thorin stuff then. So this was absolute chaos. For some reason, Thorin, the esports historian, one of the most prominent members of the esports community, I suppose, for really a number of years now, he decides to wade into the whole matter. I'm not really sure why. It really confuses me. We'll get into exactly what happened here. So this was the first thing he did. Oh, this is Twitter? Somehow I thought I'd access his private journal. He does this like stupid smiley face thing. Just got absolutely robbed in focus tonight, whatever. Damn man, this was a good one. Have an adult explain this joke for you, and etc, etc. My god, man, you just give up. You suck at Twitter. So it looked like maybe that was going to be it, and Thorin just waded in. But of course, that was barely starting the surface. Thorin decided to write this like fan fiction. I don't know why he did this. It's so strange. JKap, Crimsix, and Form were in a shipwreck and all washed up on a deserted island. Crim takes charges and look for food, but all he finds is a dusty old lamp. So he does this kind of classic genie joke where Crim and Form both wish to be off the island, and then JKap sits here. What is your wish? Bro, I'm so lonely right now. I wish I had those two back again to keep me company. So okay, kind of a classic joke, but I don't really know why Thorin would sit there writing this up. And then Thorin continues, right? It's wild. CoD is known for the trash talk. They have like 10 players good in it and are charismatic. The rest are just blasted on energy drinks, spamming cliched memes like they're 14-year-old and IQ fans. Don't know about you, but I wouldn't get a big ego from 200,000 kids whose balls haven't dropped spamming ratio after all my attended banter. Then again, I didn't choose to play aBeZy's first FPS. So, I mean, pretty incredible stuff. And Thorin's kind of meltdown on the timeline just continued. I mean, like, if it wasn't for Thorin making videos, I don't know if I would actually be here making these videos. It was his videos that somewhat inspired me to start up this channel. So I definitely have respect for what he's achieved throughout his career. But I mean, certainly this guy was out of control last night. I mean, this one to courage made you be promoting trans fat milkshakes to the kids if they paid you enough. Where we drop in today, lads, in integrity, pal. So some of these were bangers, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I suppose if you fire a million shots, some of them are gonna hit. A broken clock may well be right a couple of times a day. This one is absolutely phenomenal as well. And well, a few of them maybe missed a little bit more. Mutineers then came in as like Los Angeles Thieves versus Dallas Empire, what everyone's watching on. Then it kind of transposed into this whole Thorin thing. Then Nadeshot wades in. Unfortunately, we fall 3-0. Really looking forward to this match and the rest of the season, etc. So a little bit late to the party, just so that he could tweet this out. I know supporting a losing team isn't always the easiest thing to do, but if you can find it in your heart to purchase official apparel, our players might just start performing better. This is our only hope to win it. Please consider helping us. So in the middle of all this drama, Los Angeles Thieves and Nadeshot just drop a merch drop and kind of capitalize on the whole thing. It's probably perfect timing for them as the whole situation went down. And well, then it even continued, right? So JKap's like, okay, Thorin's sudden obsession with me is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I'm going to tell the full story about the Str0 thing later. I mean, that's not something we're going to have time to go through today, but I'll leave it linked down below if you guys would like to check it out. We'll talk about it briefly right to the very end of this video. Plenty more to discuss later today as Charlie, Intel, and the Ravens are talking about, look, CoD Esports drama on Twitter, absolutely unmatched. And well, Str0 then continues, all of the views and money in the world wouldn't put the trophy in the cabinet, only a championship mentality will. For those who support Envy day in, day out, etc., I'll certainly keep having that championship mentality, the kind of thing that other orgs like 100 Thieves don't necessarily have. I mean, then Thorin fired some more shots at some of the Call of Duty players specifically. Methods comes out and says, I throw water balloons at that sick guy Thorin. Thorin's like, you'd miss the mark like this with this attempted roast. I mean, this one as well, he comes at Simp. Why did it take Simp so long to get pro at uplink? He was having trouble getting his balls to drop. I mean, that's not the best I've ever seen. I mean, this one as well, which was so confusing. I mean, I'm not going to read it because YouTube will probably demonetize the video. But this was Thorin's response to when Simp said, we are witnessing a breakdown on the timeline. He comes on Octane as well. I mean, right here, like, I'll just leave this on screen for you guys. I don't want to run through absolutely every single one. This one as well. I mean, when I saw this, I was like, what is going on today? Before JKap left home, he was a proud member of a very stoic people. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Some of these, I guess, are quality. Some of these were probably too far. Some of these just didn't really hit the mark. What is wrong with this story? Even Birdman says, these are the worst roads I have seen in my entire life. He'll probably make a video on this. Nameless Ghost as well. I am witnessing a breakdown at the present time. And well, as Thorin says, to finish off the job, I mean, there was so many more than this. I think there was one screenshot that Nick from FaZe put up that he'd like tweeted 17 times in the last hour. Like, that was main tweets, not even replies. Some great musicians play the violin. Some great maestros play the orchestra. I play the entire CoD scene. And I know that Thorin's just sitting there just giggling to himself, like doing all these tweets and such, knowing that he's riling everyone up, which, okay, he is, but at the same time, it's probably not necessarily the best look for either party. I don't even know what to say on this anymore. This was really to finish things off. I mean, I did want to talk about this probably in the coming days if we get time to. The major's coming up in just a couple of days' time, so maybe I'll have to leave this till after the major concludes. But plenty of drama regarding this whole story time thing. So JKap comes out and says, story time, read right here. This is what he was talking about earlier, the fact that, Str0 screwed him over. Obviously, this is pretty long. We don't have time to go through it today. But Str0 says in reply, like, Jordan, this is just something something else. There are always two sides, you only told one. I treated you well and you know that. I even treated you unbelievably fair prior and gave you a job on our team when there were better opportunities. Hope you get what you want out of this. So that kind of finishes off the job for the time being. We had a couple of hours off really of respite after this all came out, to be honest. Before then, the Cellium whole snaking drama kicked off for version 3. That's what we're going to talk about later today. Intrigued to hear your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Absolute chaos. We do not get days like this too often. I think Octane did a tweet saying like March the 1st should be like a holiday in the Call of Duty scene where maybe all the matches get postponed or something, just so we can commemorate such a legendary day that yesterday was. But as I say, we're only maybe halfway through all the stuff that happened on the timeline yesterday. Yeah, a 3-in-1 special. Thank you for watching as always. Be here later today, and I will see you next time.
Hey everyone, apparently because I'm a team owner, I have to wear a suit and can't talk. I can only just stay silent and say nice things all the time. But I'm gonna let you guys know, in esports, team owners who have been around for 15 years can talk and don't have to wear suits. We can wear hoodies and hats and sneakers and talk about the matches that we play, and you know, be proud of our team, talk a little smack every now and then. And if it offends a big group of people who cheer for the other teams that we you know, 3-0 and mop up the floor with, then you know, it's going to offend them, and they're going to come out and they're going to be upset, and that's okay, because it's all in fun, man. It's all a competition, and you know, you need to push your team to be better, and when your team's great, you should relish in that and have fun with it and enjoy it. So sorry if I offended anybody on the other side, but you know, it's up to you guys to put the pressure on your org and your team that you cheer for to get better. And the same with our fans that push me and push our organization to get better when we're not. And right now we're good, so we're going to talk about it and have a little fun with it. Sorry if I offended anyone, but just know that you know, we're working hard over at Envy. We've got a lot of teams winning a lot right now. I don't know if there's another org outperforming us across the board in all the games, you know, that they're participating in, but we're winning a lot, and I feel good, and I'm going to talk about it and talk a little smack. So if that offends you, you can go ahead and hit the unfollow button. Take care.